What's up YouTube, and welcome back to this channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I'm gonna try to make this video somewhat short, and I'm gonna do my best not to do any edits or cuts, so bear with me. Today I'm talking about the Panasonic GH5. We have the GH5S right here, and right behind me I also have the Panasonic GH5. They're very similar cameras, a few differences, but again, very similar cameras. One thing I want to talk about these cameras is after owning them for about 2 years, actually it's been 2 years plus some months, and I'm still rocking with the GH5s. Why am I still rocking with the GH5s even though there's so many new cameras that are coming out left and right? And again, they're amazing new cameras. The reason why I'm still sticking with the GH5s after 2 years is because nothing has came close to what I experienced with the GH5 when it comes down to video quality. Everything I'm going to talk about today, this is just out of my personal experience after 2 years of owning this camera. And yeah, these are things that I've noticed, and these are reasons why I'm sticking with the GH5s. I had the Sony a7 III for about a year, and I'm gonna be not really comparing it to the Sony a7 III, but I do want to mention that camera a lot because, like I said, I've had experience with that camera. Amazing camera, very good, but well, like I said, when it came down to video, I always ended up coming back to the GH5, and it just did not compare to the image quality I was getting out of my GH5. So it kind of came down to the point where I would try this camera, I would try that camera, and I'm like, man, what am I looking for? Like, what else am I looking for? If we're gonna try to stay within $5,000 and under, which these things are like 1,500, it's not even 5,000, but if you're looking at like 5,000 and under, to me, this is the best I've been able to get. And when I try other stuff out, like I said, I end up coming back to the GH5, and this thing is staying in our kit for a very long time. Another thing I want to talk about is the reliability of this camera. It's been 2 years plus a few months, and I've had these cameras since they came out, and honestly, this thing is like brand spanking new. Like, nothing in this camera is flimsy, and all these buttons just work exactly the way they should. This control dial right here is very solid. All my dials right here, they just work. Nothing has broken on these cameras. The 2 SD cards continue to work very good, and nothing has been like, oh my god, like this feels like it's about to break. The squirrel, no, everything works really good. On my Sony a7 III, when I had that camera, the second SD card slot, and again, it's probably just my camera, but the second SD card slot gave out on me and it just wouldn't work no more. Another thing, that camera overheated on me 2 times when I was shooting in 4K, so that kind of freaked me out. I didn't see a lot of people having that issue, but I did ran into that problem, and yeah, again, it just kind of freaked me out when I used it. Reliability wasn't completely there for me, and these cameras, 2 years plus, they work so good, and they still feel like they're gonna last for a very long time. Also, another thing to mention is these cameras, you buy, say you buy a GH5, they're already very good cameras right out of the box. But if you want to upgrade, if you want better image quality, you can always get an external monitor. You got choices, you got options. You could upgrade your camera. A lot of other cameras don't let you do that. There's other few cameras that do let you modify the quality by, you know, adding an external monitor to them. But not every camera lets you do that. My Sony a7 III never let me do that. It just, you know, when I connected an external monitor, it just, you know, obviously let me monitor the image. With this camera, I was able to just, you know, get better resolution if I wanted to. So that to me gave me options, and that is something that's very important. This camera could continue to grow with you as time goes on. Another thing I do want to mention is using the GH5s. One thing that I've noticed so much on these compared to the Sony a7 III is when I color grade a 10-bit footage versus 8-bit footage, there is a huge difference for me, and I feel like I can push my colors to, you know, I can push those colors so much, and there's so much flexibility when it comes down to color grading on my GH5s versus on my Sony a7 III. There is flexibility, but I never was able to push the colors as much as I do with the GH5. When I would shoot in S-Log2 on my Sony a7 III, pretty much I just would not be able to just freak my colors the way I do on my GH5s. As a matter of fact, I kind of didn't really like to shoot on S-Log2 when I was on the Sony a7 III. I just didn't really feel like there was so much flexibility when it came down to pushing your colors. This camera, honestly, if you're into color grading, if you want to just manage or manipulate your colors a lot and get flexible with that, this is the way to go. Another thing I do want to mention is this camera is the closest that in my opinion, that I've been able to get to a cinema camera without breaking the bank. With 1,500, probably you could even buy it on eBay for $1,000 bucks, the GH5. This camera, honestly, it's super close to having a cinema camera. Just the fact that it lets me have waveforms, zebras, vector scopes. I can put in my custom LUTs in this camera, monitor my footage with my custom LUTs. There is so much. This is just builds for you to film video. That to me, I use those features all the time. My waveforms, I'm always using waveforms. My zebras, I'm always using zebras. Not every camera lets you do that. There is other cameras that let you do that, but it's not something that a lot of cameras under $5,000 let you do. And this gives you that option. And the last thing I am gonna mention is just the fact that it's so lightweight and compact. Like, this camera is an amazing camera for video, and it's so small, it's so compact. Honestly, this thing weighs, like, it doesn't weigh a lot. I carry this in my camera bag all of the time when I go out. When I go to work, I take my camera with me. When I go out, I take my camera with me. It weighs nothing. I'm with this camera most of the time, and again, it's very lightweight. Yeah, if you pop in the Sigma, which I have back here, the Sigma 18 to 35 with the speed booster, it does get pretty heavy. But if you guys want to stay away from a heavy setup, this 25mm lens, that's like a 1.7, is so light, and it's just, this is all it is. This is super light. And just the fact that you're able to get zebras, vector scopes, waveforms, custom LUTs in such a small compact setup, this thing honestly is amazing, and I love using all those features on it. Also, it's just on a side note, it has a flip out screen. I don't vlog, I never vlogged on the GH5, but you have no idea how helpful this flip out screen is when I'm out shooting video. Again, the Sony a7 III doesn't have a flip out screen. I know I can put it up and down, but honestly, there's been so many times when I'm shooting video and I use this flip out screen a lot. And when I don't have it, is when I actually notice, like, man, I wish I had a flip out screen. Honestly, guys, I can make a huge list. I can keep going on and on features why I think this camera is an amazing camera 2 years later, but you know, this video would go on so long. But those are just some quick things that I wanted to share with you guys on why I continue to rock the GH5 and why I feel like I'm gonna be keeping the GH5 for a very long time. Like I said, there's so many cameras that are out right now, left and right, and they're all amazing cameras, but when it comes down to bang for your buck, this to me is the best I can get for video. For right now, those are some of the points why we are sticking with the GH5s. And also, if you guys got any input or anything you guys want to add to this video, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and also thank you guys to all the new subscribers that just subscribed to this channel. I hope you guys find this channel interesting, and thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.